New information tonight about last night's shooting on Lott Road in Sims.
Shots have been fired. I don't know if anyone is injured at this time. That's all we could have.
Sheriff Sam Cochran says the man who shot at deputies may have been under the influence. 66-year-old Terrence White was acting erratically and reportedly held a gun to his wife's head before 911 was called. When deputies arrived, he opened fire. 3 deputies fired back. He was killed in the shootout. As NBC 15's Cassie Fambro explains, one of those dispatch calls revealed an alarming detail.
The house behind me on Lott Road is very secluded. Sheriff Sam Cochran says what happened behind those trees has been a house of horrors. Sheriff Sam Cochran says calls for help from the home off Lott Road have happened before.
We have previous calls for domestic violence there, and in one of those previous calls, the wife had told us that he had said he would kill the first officers arriving on the scene.
That was 4 years ago, and Cochran said it made his wife stop calling for help.
She has been suffering from domestic violence for a number of years, and that many times she would not contact the police because when she would threaten to do that, he would always say, "If you call the police, as soon as they get here, I'm going to shoot them."
Her husband, 66-year-old Terrence Edward White, scared her and a neighbor so badly last night, they did call 911. She told the dispatcher her husband had a gun to her head, and when she could, she ran for her life. Deputies rushed to the house.
And they went into the backyard of the residence, and at that point, the man started shining a bright light at the deputies and cursing them, and he had a gun, I think, to his head and kept cursing them.
He had uttered chilling words.
That it was Judgment Day.
And then the unthinkable.
He raised the gun and fired a shot at the deputies, and there were 3 on the scene, and at this point in time, they returned fire.
White was killed, something Cochran thinks was intentional.
Was indicating he was in severe pain and was indicating that he wanted to die. And so, you know, we would, in hindsight, realize that probably this would be a case many would call a suicide by cop.
It's too soon for toxicology test results to come back, but Sheriff Sam Cochran says that there may have been a chemical component to the chaos last night. The man had just had surgery and had been prescribed painkillers. For now in Sims, Cassie Fambro, NBC 15 News.